Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Tommy Robinson guilty over Facebook broadcast 8 hours ago from the BBC. I have another one pulled up from the Independent, as well as the tweet showing what he did with the live stream. And as the tweet says, judge for yourself. Here we have ex-English, and that's important, Defence League leader Tommy Robinson has been found in contempt of court for his Facebook live broadcast of defendants in a criminal trial. Following the verdict of the Old Bailey, he told the BBC he had been convicted for who I am, not what I have done. And what is contempt of court? They exist to ensure people get fair trials. Maximum sentence for contempt of court is 2 years in prison, but it could also be punished with an unlimited fine. Contempt includes publishing anything that creates a substantial risk of seriously prejudicing active criminal proceedings. Proceedings become active when a suspect is arrested. Fair enough. You're prejudicing it. Not going to speak to jurors, that kind of thing. Someone could also be in contempt by actions including taking photographs or film, recording what is said in court, or talking to a jury member about a case. And that's the particular bit that's a problem. Talking to a jury member about a case, that's fair enough. If you're in direct conversation with them, then yes, you could definitely be telling them things to try and persuade them, understood. But you're taking photographs or film, as in you're just trying to publicise things that are happening. Well, I'm all for that. It's the same as you can still surely publicise what's happening inside the courtroom, especially if somebody is convicted. I mean, you can protect the identity of the accused, fair enough. But if people are, if this is about prejudicing it, then you could still try and get the message out. And if people are there and proud of what they're doing, especially the way that the prosecuting lawyer or the defending lawyer to say, well, hey, yeah, film this, show it out, because I'm an amazing lawyer and I want people to see what I'm doing because it's great. Same as the judge. It's like, yes, people should know who I am, recognise me as a judge as a household name because I follow the law exactly and I'm exactly who you want judging you because I'm amazing. But if you're afraid, you go, no, don't film this because I'm wrong and I know it is and I don't want to be seen. So reporting restrictions have been put in place, postponing publication of any details of the 2018 case Leeds Crown Court until the end of a series of linked trials involving 21 defendants. Broadcast footage from outside the court 25th of May 2018, while the jury in the second trial of the series was considering its verdict. Video lasted an hour and a half, viewed online 250,000 times. So the tweet from Dominic Cassiani is as follows.
So I'm at Leeds Crown Court where these men here, let me see. Right lads, how you feeling? How you feeling about your verdict? How you feeling about your verdict? How you feeling about your verdict?
What verdict?
How you feeling about the verdict? You got your prison bag for you?
Yeah, look at you.
Got your bags for you? You got your bags for you?
Yeah.
How you feeling about the verdict? You got no guilt. Is there any guilt? Is there any guilt, mate? Is there any guilt?
So then you decide if you think that's aggressively confronting them, because the initial thing of stating guilt before they've been convicted, that's been dropped. As we're about to see, he wasn't doing that at all, and a load of journalists do that. Or reporters do that to say, here was what they've been accused of, and here was the punishment for that crime if they are convicted of it. But you decide if that was aggressive, or if it was just the people responding, swearing at him, who were actually the aggressive ones.
No. As you can see there, doesn't seem like much guilt. Doesn't seem like anyone's ashamed. I'm outside Leeds Crown Court, where today 10 men are facing verdicts. They're verdicts for alleged grooming and rape scandal.
And he makes it very clear this alleged. Yes, he misspoke and then he corrected himself straight away. So, fair enough. Which is fine because the original charge of that was dropped because he wasn't saying that they'd done something they hadn't done. He was making it very clear that it was alleged. And so the sentencing is not for that at all, like it was before when he was given 13 months and let out after 2 because it was shown that was false. But then fresh proceedings were brought forward. Try twice for the same crime. Why not? It's England. Where's your freedom?
Guys, can you move forward? Move back. Keep moving back, please.
And he's just said causing Muslim paedophiles anxiety by
Keep
asking
moving back,
How they
please.
feel about this thing.
asking how they feel.
Guys, this is Go on then. You got him, yeah? I don't mind drop you.
Cuts to people being aggressive towards the police with the barriers, and here we have the Tomo just here, who is trying to show that he's not causing trouble. He was just pushed because that barrier was open, closed, and he's trying to say that he's not causing trouble, and normally he doesn't. And you got a load of people here, including what it seems like ex-army guys with the beret. You got men, women, everyone here saying that they don't like Tommy being prosecuted. Police are normally very civil, except with this one guy who tries to grab a baton. He's still trying to be held back by other people. He holds the baton, and then this gent here hits him. He hits him once, goes to hit him a second time, but the guy's let go, so he doesn't hit him twice. And that's about it. And then if we go to the end, we have a bit with Tommy speaking. Chanting, he signs a Union Jack, and he says he's back on the 11th for sentencing. They say they hurl beer cans. I saw one thrown. Yeah, I believe it was an empty can. And again, yeah, don't attack the police. But to the mayor of Portland, Oregon, where they're not responding to Antifa, maybe you could learn something from there, that you can still have a police presence, and you don't need to hurt anybody or let anybody get hurt. Do you see any milkshakes being thrown? No. Any with concrete? No. Okay. So Greta reports out the old Bailey chanted, "Shame on you," as some lob missiles at the media reporting on the trial as news of the ruling trickled through. I've seen one empty beer can. Maybe more, that I haven't seen. English Defence League leader was ruled to be in contempt of court. Okay, no. Used to lead it, kind of, co-leader, co-founder, that kind of thing. When he picked the name Tommy Robinson, obviously not his real name, Stephen Yaxley Lennon. And that was previous, when it wasn't as racist as it's thought to have now become, and he has tried to distance himself from that because he's thought, hey, we can't get rid of these Nazis. Like he said, punching Nazis, well, that's what Tommy Robinson has done before. He's probably punched more than most Antifa members, if not all of them, because he doesn't like them either, and says, hey, if you believe in white supremacy and that white people are superior because of their race, leave us alone. We don't want you here. Which is why he left the BNP after one meeting, like when they wouldn't allow his black friends in. After he breached reporting restrictions by filming grooming child defendants in Leeds last year. Robinson's real name, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, dead naming again, didn't think that was allowed. Left court on Friday, surrounded by media and security. Two of his supporters sprang up to film journalists calling them scum. Whereas it's definitely important to film, because you don't know how it's going to be doctored afterwards. It's good to have a full recording. RB Yemeni in Australia, of course, showed that was very important to have a full live recording, because you don't know how it's going to be edited by Jeffries there, obviously. Jim Jeffries. Momentarily inside the court, the man himself has shown little reaction as the High Court judge announced the decision. That's to be expected. And here they have Stephen Yakot Lennon as a kind of ad to show some pictures. That is a great nickname. I don't like the fact you're hurling things at people, but as far as nicknames go, Yakot Lennon, credit where it's due. Addressing the crowd gathered on the street, Robinson insisted the ruling was wrong, repeated claims the verdict would have a negative impact on press freedom. He said, I've been convicted of who I am, not what I've done. It might have a negative impact on press freedom, but I think it's mainly because it is Tommy Robinson himself. Judges found Robinson in contempt for aggressively confronting and filming defendants accused of the sexual exploitation of young girls and live streaming the footage outside Leeds Crown Court in May 2018. Well, you've seen the footage, so you can decide for yourself if you think he was aggressive. I don't at all. I think that's fair enough. Not confrontational. He didn't get up close to them. They had steps in a wall either side of them, and there was the defendants there who then prosecuted, who were swearing at him. Defendant denied any wrongdoing. He did not believe he was breaching any reporting restrictions, only referred to information that was already in the public domain. But Dame Victoria Sharp, sitting at the Old Bailey with Mr. Justice Warburton Friday, found him in contempt in 3 respects. So, he had breached a reporting ban imposed on the trial by live streaming the video from outside the public entrance to the court. So that's fair enough. If you say you can't report out here, and he did, then yes, he has broken the law. That's contempt of court as they define it. I disagree with that in principle, but if that is the law, then that is how it is. You can still have jury nullification to say, yes, he's guilty of this crime that should not be a crime, therefore stop it being a crime, Same thing with freeing slaves in America. It's like, yes, he's guilty of freeing slaves, but it should not be a crime, so stop it being a crime, and then they can be set free. And by aggressively confronting and filming some of the defendants. The judge added the content of the video gave rise to a substantial risk that the court of justice in that case would be seriously impeded, and the confrontation of the defendants was a direct interference with the course of justice. Tommy Robinson himself has said that it's for causing anxiety to the accused. Robinson's sentencing hearing has been provisionally set for 11th of July, depending on the availability of a medical expert to assess him. So he doesn't have the 3 weeks given to everybody else to create a report beforehand. He's been given less than 4th of July, so he's been given 1 week instead, whereas everybody else gets 3 weeks. Murderers, rapists, terrorists, you name it, they get it instead. David Torrey said the court will aim to give full reasons for the decision next week. Contempt of court carries a maximum sentence of 2 years and also an unlimited fine. That's what they say. So it seems that the establishment, as it is trying to imprison him because they don't like him. He lifted the lids on Watford grooming gangs and Islamic gangs in prison because he's written Muhammad's Quran and he's against extremist forms of Islam, and he shows how the teachings, the ideology encourages people to commit heinous acts, including grooming gangs, and then that isn't acceptable for people with a vision of the anointed, as Sowell would say. Thomas Sowell would recommend an economist, but great book nonetheless. And that's how it stands at the moment. Obviously, he's been in prison before, moved to a densely Muslim populated prison, put just by the mosque in the summer heat again, so he'll be back in summer heat again. One window couldn't open because people would post literal shit through his window, so he's boiling hot, couldn't trust the food because again that was cooked by Muslims, prepared by them, so he said he lived on about a tin of tuna a day, and he had lost noticeable weight in the 2 months afterwards because he was let out early, thankfully, for that. And that was for stating fact instead of saying it was alleged. But as we see, that wasn't true, but he still served prison time regardless. So all we can hope is that it'll be a similar thing with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, that well, hopefully Trump will say, hey, you did a good thing, be a free man, and whoever comes in next, hopefully Johnson, because we know that Theresa May hated Tommy Robinson. He was able to get a meeting with her because she didn't know it was him. She saw him and left the room straight away. So if you call that a meeting, then fine. But hopefully someone go, yes, actually you've done a great service for the country in exposing these things that we need to know about, and we're not going to be lulled into that sense by Labour, who are saying, oh yes, we can't report on that because they're brown people and, you know, they don't know what they're doing. They're just silly brown people. So well, you're the real racists. If you think that people don't have a sense of agency because of their skin colour, that to me is racist. You're thinking they're inferior people. Well, then you're the real white supremacists. Christ. Same as you're the real misogynist, the sexist, the anti-female. You seem to think straight white men are all-powerful people because they're the only ones who are capable of doing anything, and they're holding everybody back and bringing themselves up, and nobody else can stand up for themselves. That seems very coddling, and it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. It's a prime example of that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Tommy Robinson is more of a national hero and he's doing great work to expose things that need to be shown to people, and he's essentially a political prisoner now? Or do you think, well, no, that is what the law says. I might disagree with the law in this regard, but nonetheless, you have to follow the law while you try to change it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.